Right, here we go. So we've got another episode of the Conquer Food podcast. I've got a couple of great guests, including, I'll start off with the beast, and then I'll come on to the beauty. So, Liz? No, I'm only kidding.
Cheeky.
We've got Ash Evans, who's been a long-standing trainer here at TEAM Bootcamp. He's appeared on a few podcasts before. About 3 years. Well, 3 years next month you've been with us. Do you know that?
It feels like
a decade.
Yeah.
So you're here, and we're going to have a little bit of a conversation with our guest, the beauty, obviously, which is Liz. Liz, can you just give us a bit of a rundown of who you are in normal everyday life?
Oh gosh,
we'll talk about why you're
normal
here.
everyday life. My name's Liz Parkin. I am from Nantwich in Cheshire. Well, I'm living in Nantwich. I'm from Surrey, but I run a community radio station, and I also help local schools with their careers provision. So I introduce small businesses to schools, high schools, to help kids with their careers.
Amazing. And obviously it's the radio connection. We was like, right.
Yes.
We've got to really test out the podcasting studio. And
I'm just being nosy, really.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting to be interviewed. I just wanted to have a look and interview you.
Geek out on the on the kit and how it all is. So what do you think?
It's ace. I love it. Really like it. Yeah. Love the round table. I like the lounge feel. Yes, very good.
Yeah, that was it was Paula obviously that did the decor.
Yeah.
And my sort of brief to her was I want kind of coffee shop feel.
Yeah.
So if you imagine crossing a coffee shop with a fridge, you've got it about right, haven't you? So Liz, just tell us about what you've been up to in the last few days.
Last few days. So what day is it? It's Wednesday, isn't it? So we're near the end of my first ever boot camp. It's been interesting, good, fun. I've enjoyed it. Certainly put through my paces. Met some really interesting people, really lovely people, and just feel like I've got a lot out of it.
Brilliant. So what I'm hoping to do from this little chat, this conversation, is get a little bit of a take on your first week at boot camp, because people that have never been to boot camp, there's usually three biggest fears that people have got. One is that it's not for them, that it's not going to work for them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll find out if it's worked for you on Friday morning when you get weighed out and measured and all that kind of stuff. The other one is that they're not going to fit in, and then the third one is that they're going to get hurt. They're going to injure themselves. Mm-hmm. So it'd be good to have a little bit of a conversation, the three of us, and just talk about that. Before we do that, so think about that. Before we do that, Ash, what's Liz's training been like? Bear in mind, you've seen you've seen thousands of people in your time at training at camp.
To be honest with you, she has done really, really well. I wouldn't say she surprised me, because I've learnt now from my experience that it doesn't matter who rocks up, their age, if they've been sedentary for a while or if they are training a lot. I mean, everyone just seems to get into that sort of like boot camp mentality. I've learnt that. So when Liz turned up, obviously I think you were a little bit nervous, a bit apprehensive, because it's new, isn't it?
Yeah.
And all I can say as a trainer, I've spent a lot of time with you this week, is that you've just embraced everything that's been thrown at you. But more importantly than that, it's your positivity and your personality that shines through, because you're always laughing.
Oh, really?
And supporting and encouraging other people. And as a trainer, that's what I always look for. And I do think you excel in that. And I think you're a really good team player. And that really shines through. As we say at camp, adversity reveals character. And there has been some adverse weather this week.
Yeah.
It's more flooded than ever.
Yeah.
You know, we've been out wading through water, and sideways rain. But,
it's probably worth just, obviously, people listen to this, it might not be within the next few days, but it's not going to be, So right now we're on the back of, what was the first one? Kira. On the back of Kira, therefore the water tables are high. Yeah. It was already a little bit chilly and wet and damp and muddy and all that kind of stuff. Then we've just we're on the tail end of Dennis the Menace.
Yeah, you're right, I know.
And then we've got on the way, in fact, starting this afternoon, I think, is Storm, Ellen, and then Fran coming later on, which is really ironic because Ellen and Fran are two really regular boot campers that have been really impressionable girls that have been to camp quite regularly. So it's quite ironic that it's the two Storms.
Wow. And
that did the weather play a part in? Or was you nervous because of the weather? Did you give it a second thought? Or?
I didn't. When I was booking it, I kind of No, I didn't. I don't think the weather really played a part. Although I got lots of. I hate being cold. I mean, a lot of everyone hates being cold, and I really don't like having wet feet. So I have just like had loads of layers, and I haven't really been cold at any point, and it has certainly made me move more. I didn't like getting my feet wet this morning, but I cope with it.
Was it tears, Ash?
Not this morning. No, I had tears the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Burpees made me cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get giddy, really, really giddy. So if my head goes down. So yeah, burpees made me cry a few days ago. But no, I've embraced it. I'm fine.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So if we look at those three big worries that people have when they come to camp, and I don't want this just want to be a pitch for Team Bootcamp. I'm genuinely, there'll be people out there that are perhaps worried about going to a fitness class or something like that. So, how did you think about the fact that you might not fit in?
No, because I looked at your website and I booked this on, I think I saw it on Boxing Day, which I think is probably the most common time for people to start doing this sort of thing. And I had a really good trawl through your website, through your Facebook, through comments, through pictures. So I could see that it was people of all shapes and sizes. And I'm obviously not the slimmest of starters. And so I wasn't worried that I wouldn't be able to, fit in or crack on with it. And my fitness level there is a little bit of fitness in me somewhere. So I wasn't too worried about that. And I even went on in a shared room, which is very unlike me. So no, I wasn't too worried I wouldn't fit in.
Was it a case of what was the big driver to come to camp? Did you just want a break or?
Well, my husband goes skiing every year with his mates. So I thought, well, if you're going to have a little trip away on your own, getting fit and doing whatever you like, then I'm going to as well. And also, I'm determined this year to put myself first and my fitness first because I'm so busy. I've always, for the last 8 years, I've let everything else get in the way of my fitness, and that's through running my own business and all manner of different things. And so whereas I used to be really fit, I look back and I think actually I was far more, I want to say, selfish isn't the right word, but I certainly put myself first a lot more. And so that's why I wanted to do this, because it's all about me this week, in my head anyway.
We get, Ash, we get a few people like that, don't we?
Yeah, we do. A lot. And I think it's, to be honest with you, I like it. I think it's amazing when I see people that have worked so hard, raising kids, sorting out their careers, and, they're always giving. And then people come and they spend a week on themselves, and some people might think, oh, that's quite selfish to go and leave your work or your kids or whatever it might be. But actually, I think it's very selfless because you're doing it to improve yourself. And when you're healthy and you're mobile, then you become better for everyone else in your life as well. So it's a very selfless thing to do, and it's bloody hard. And I always say that everyone that makes it for a week of boot camp should be super proud of themselves, because it's such a challenging thing to do.
Yeah, it is. It's certainly a challenge.
Craig always says that pride can't come without that challenge, and just getting through a day, because it's like 4.5 hours of hard physical training every day, and there's no respite. We don't give you guys an easy ride at any point. We're always pushing, and you are always pushing yourself. I think, it's a great thing, and it's rewarding. And obviously, when you leave here, the idea is that our model, and someone else I was talking to him about this yesterday, Trevor, bit of a legend, isn't he?
Trevor Lodge,
is that holistic approach that Craig and Paula have come up with. Is one thing that I love about boot camp. We're not just running you into the ground training wise, and it's not like that at all.
Yeah.
We train you on the food, you do nutrition briefs, training briefs, you've got the mindset, the meditation, the group hypnosis. It's like the whole package. And the idea is that when you leave, you've got a lot of tools.
Yeah. Definitely.
To aid you in your
definitely.
journey.
So would you say it's as hard as talking straight into the microphone, like?
He's not managing that, is he?
He's not getting it, is he?
Struggling.
I'll turn you.
Because my nose is too big.
Didn't like to say.
Keeping the beard off the microphone. I've turned your earphones up, so that might be a little bit better. Yeah, it's quite common. We do get a lot of people that come and they go, do you know what? For years, it's been me, the kids, looking after the husband, doing whatever. Not just women, guys as well. And it's like, this is it. You know, this is my time. So, and I usually find that women 35 and beyond are tough, you know, especially when they've had kids and they've had a marriage, you know what I mean? And they are tough and they tend to do well at boot camp. Do you agree, Ash?
One thing that I've learned in my time at boot camp, I've been conscious about talking into this thing now, is the women smash it.
Yeah.
Every week after week after week, they just seem to have this ability to endure and keep going, and it's incredible. And what we were saying actually reminds me of a quote that I heard, that very often people spend the first half of their life accumulating wealth at the detriment of the health, and they spend the second half of their life using the wealth to buy back the health. Sometimes it's right, isn't it? We just forget. You know, people start putting on weight, or they start getting sick, and sometimes it's not until you get that diagnosis of a doctor or a health scare, people are like, I need to do something about it.
I think that's it for me. I've had a few friends that have been diagnosed with various nasty, horrible diseases. My dad died when he was 53. He had diabetes, and there's all sorts of things that have suddenly kind of made me think, crikey, I need to knuckle down and put my health first, definitely.
So what would you say about like people that think that it's kind of, what do we say? Injury. What have you seen, you know, from the guys where they kind of manage injury and that kind of stuff? Or does it just feel like a full-on slog? I
have to say I've been really cautious, and that's probably where my kind of weaknesses have come in, where I said to you on day one when we had the analysis thing, the assessment, that, you know, I've got a dodgy back and I've got this, and I know what it's like to have a bad back for 18 months and try and fix it. And I don't want to leave. I want to leave here with new habits. I don't want to leave here with new injuries that are going to keep me out of exercising for the next 18 months. So I have been really, really cautious. I've seen some people really push themselves, and I've had a couple of chats. I'm like, really, why are you pushing yourself quite that much? I don't feel that I need to keep up with anyone. I really don't. And I don't feel like I need to personally break any records other than keep myself moving and do something every day and get up at silly o'clock and eat a small amount of food and just be, you know, I've achieved a lot, but giving myself an injury, I'm just very, very careful, which is why I've worn my boots, my walking boots when we've been out in the green, because I didn't want to slip. And you guys have all been really good. I don't know whether you've just either not noticed or you've just accepted it. And we've had I chatted with Reese about one thing, and that's been really great. I haven't felt under too much pressure to kill myself.
I think a lot of people do put pressure on themselves and push themselves a little bit too hard sometimes. And then obviously the results, we don't know yet. But I mean, how are you feeling now? Do you feel a little bit?
I feel definitely more toned. I've got my muscles in my calves are back again, which I haven't seen for a few years.
It's probably just swelling.
I definitely feel better. In fact, one of the things I noticed on day 3 was I was able to get up off the ground much quicker. I was up and down, up and down, up and down. That's definitely better. I don't know. I haven't set myself any major goals about weight loss, because it's more about keeping moving and knowing that I've got, you know, all my classes booked in for when I get back next week and stuff, and changing my diet and stuff. So yeah. And
what has been some of your highlights and lowlights during the
highlights?
Because people, let me just frame that question a little bit, because people tend to have their worst week ever at boot camp. Now, some people listening to this won't even realise that people come and do multiple weeks, up to 12 weeks.
Yeah, that's incredible.
6 months, but you never have your first week again. It is your worst week, you know, because it's all fresh. You've got this incredible. Well, in fact, I won't take words out of your mouth. What has been some of your highlights and lowlights?
Highlights have been. What have the highlights been? This morning's breakfast has been the highlight. Yeah, poached eggs, salmon, tomatoes, and it's absolutely the best meal, and it filled me up. I mean, that's probably why I've been so upbeat all day. It's been really, really good. The boxing was really, really good today. Really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the first green games that we did, where we weren't on the grass, the one where we did the rotation around the whole building, and that got me thinking, because I've got a big garden. I thought I could do this at home. My husband would love this, my nephews would love this, so that's given me some really good ideas. The game where we played the robots with that was just bonkers, but made me laugh my head off.
Isn't it?
that ridiculous game that you've made us play just before we left here. I even had my eyes open. I didn't know what was going on. So there've been loads of little highlights like that. All the little different things that have gone on. The pace has been brilliant. The variation of activities has been brilliant. The absolute low has got to be burpees. I've never been able. My personal trainer at home can't do. When I put my head down, I get giddy. I get very giddy. The room starts to spin. I see stars, and I feel sick. And I just fell apart the other day, didn't I?
Yeah.
Couldn't do it at all. But thankfully, there's alternatives.
Yeah. How do you play it when people have a little bit of a moment like that? And how often do they happen? For everybody, would you say, or?
I'd say everyone has a moment when they're here within a week. They might rock up thinking, I'm solid. There's no way I'm gonna have a breakthrough, as we call it. But it's always just looking at what's causing the upset or the stress. Sometimes it can be they just are comparing themselves to other people, which we know is the root of all unhappiness, isn't it? Comparison. Like yourself, you just struggle with that getting down to getting up. So we just gave you a platform to work off, which meant Liz didn't have to go as low, and that seemed to help.
That sorted it out, yeah, definitely.
And you were able to get more intensity by having that slight regression than it would be when you were struggling to get down and get up, and you were straight back in the game. So
yeah, definitely.
It was brilliant. So can I ask you what your favourite session is? Now you've seen the whole programme.
Probably Reese, isn't it?
Oh, Roxanne this afternoon.
That was burpees.
Yeah, but I had a thing, didn't I? A block. I think my favourite session, generally for me, box exercise and spinning are my favourite things that I do.
Yeah.
I'm quite pleased with myself with how I've concentrated on the kettlebells. Although I've been using the last 2 days, I've been using the hand weights. But that's always been a worry for me, because one of the reasons I hurt my back last time was because of kettlebells and using them wrong and using a heavy weight and da-da-da. Right. So I've been very, very careful of that. I've always loved spinning, and I haven't done it for about 3 years, so I'm really pleased I've got back into that. And then I just like belting the what's it out of people with the boxing gloves.
So when we go straight from spinning into boxing, that is ace.
Is that tomorrow?
We've done it.
Oh yeah, we've done that. Oh yeah. No, we had
a lot going on.
Stay dialed
we
in.
had the sit-ups, didn't we, in between? Yeah. Oh yeah, we had boxing. That's it. No, I've really enjoyed boxing, definitely.
So how have you found the group dynamic, like coming in? I mean, how many people are on this week?
22.
22,
yeah, about that. Yeah.
All different.
It's been really interesting, because I just thought we'd all pitch up together, and there we were. But because there's obviously, you've got your long-termers or your long-timers, and you've got so many people have come back. I think there's only 5 or 6 of newbies like me. Everyone else is either long-term or comes back for more.
Returning.
Every week I work, apart from the first 3 weeks where I didn't know anyone, there's always been someone come back that I know.
Yeah.
In 3 years.
Yeah.
1 week I missed a weekend, came in on a Monday, and I knew every single person.
Gosh.
And that says a lot.
That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, already I'm thinking.
Shit.
Coming back to confirm how shit we are.
No, they come back. They do find some at boot camp, you know what I mean? And some people get addicted to it. It's quite common. We see it all the time, don't we?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I'm really shocked, actually, that many people do come back. And I'm already thinking now, I'd quite like to come back with my husband, because he would really enjoy it. He's certainly a lot fitter than me, but then that's also okay. And that's what's amazing, the levels of fitness that you cater for, across the board. The long-termers have been great, particularly your demos, and your entertaining ones have been fabulous. And then seeing people that have huge amounts of weight loss and are so committed to constantly improving themselves and doing more. And there have been a few times, particularly when we were running up the hill today, and I sort of saw Hilda going off in front of me, and I thought, oh crikey, I really ought to pull my finger out, because she's here for another few weeks and she's been doing this, and I need to work a bit harder because it's on my penultimate day, sort of thing. So yeah, it's been.
Have you been inspired by anybody that you've kind of seen or met?
Oh crikey, well, Damo, Hilda. People have come from the other side of the world to be here. That's incredible. I think Beth is really inspiring. She's really committed to her boxing, and she's great. people like Laura, Scotland. She's just little pocket rocket who keeps going, and she was really keeping me going the other day when I was having a bit of a meltdown with my boxing. She was really helping me keep going. Then you've got some older ones as well that are doing really, really well. It's just a really nice bunch of people. I was thinking, you know, what a mix of people that have all kind of come together for that one common goal. It's great.
So, you know, if there's no knobhead in a group, you know what that means? Kind of means you're the knobhead, doesn't it?
You the knobhead?
Just put it out there.
Must be me.
Yeah, okay. So, Ash, a little bit from you. What do you know what you got in store for tomorrow?
No.
Right. Do you want to?
Oh yeah,
I'm
tell
quite
me.
interested in like laying it all out. What's happening tomorrow, and then watching Liz's face.
Am I under like Official Secrets Act? Am I allowed to tell anyone?
No. We have so many boot camps. Other boot camps, what they tend to do is they'll do a fitness test start of the week and a fitness test at the end of the week. Of course, you're knackered, you're fatigued. Very rarely do people, do better on the fitness test of the week. And we found that like people they finish on a low. But we want people to finish on a high. So what we do is Thursday, traditionally what we call challenge day. I don't know if you know this. Do you know?
I've heard of challenge day, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Okay. So 2, sometimes 3, depending on whatever way they want to spice it up. But what's happening tomorrow then, Ash? Just burpees all morning.
4 hours of burpees. With no regressions allowed. And me with an air rifle.
I was good at shooting, wasn't I? I was good at shooting.
Didn't miss a shot.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Demo.
That's Nantwich, isn't it, though? There's loads of shooting going on.
Yeah. Shooting pigeons.
It was Air Cadets 25 years ago.
Or somewhat showed. Tomorrow, right, so it's 2 hours for the first challenge, which will be...
What time does it start?
9.
9 o'clock. So we're up at 8.
I mean, a lot of people think 2 hours of fitness... when you think like a 40-minute class, you know what I mean, or a 1 hour class, it's a lot. I mean, does that worry you now, bearing in mind what you've done?
If it's on an empty stomach, it would worry me. But if we have breakfast, it'll be all right.
It's post-breakfast.
Yeah.
And you'll have a 30-minute break with a snack.
Okay.
And you go out and you can...
Can we have those balls that we had today, please?
No.
They were the best.
There's no request.
If it was...
We'll allow you to get up an hour early if you want.
Then you'll have a 30-minute break, and then you'll do another 2-hour challenge, which will be down here, where you'll work in teams to accumulate a shared goal.
Okay.
So set you a goal to achieve. And then you'll go back for lunch, and then you'll have a power hour. We get you out for another hour of high-intensity training. And then you will have your certificate, so we'll award you a certificate for making it towards the end of the week. Super proud. Me and Reese will nominate our campus of the week, which is always very difficult. In fact, I mentioned it while you were doing the first thing this morning. I was like, I'm looking for my camper of the week because it's really hard at the minute. I've probably got about 6 or 7 people. So tomorrow, for me, will be the sort of like breaker of who I choose. And then you watch your end of week video. So all the little videos we've been taking, we show you an end of week video, which is awesome, which we can send to you.
Cool.
And then you're away. Well, obviously, way out on Friday morning.
Way out on Friday morning.
The week goes so quick, doesn't it?
That doesn't sound that bad, does it? When you just...
Are we going to get wet tomorrow?
First one, yeah. You'll be running. You'll be running through water.
Oh, you're doing the water run.
Cold water submergence.
Yeah, that's a good one. That.
How much are you being submerged by?
Head.
All of it.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're kidding.
You know me.
I tell you what, I'm quite interested in. Like, if these lads said, right, this is what we're doing, and it was something outrageous, would you throw yourself into it? Have you been conditioned this week, or would you?
What, for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, I do. I'm a believer in just get on with it and do it.
Yeah.
I climbed Kilimanjaro a few years ago, and that was awful. And the last bit, I was like, right, you just get over it. And I do think it'll all be over in 24 hours, or it'll all be over in 4 hours, so I can do that. I think if you made me do a bungee jump, I probably would say no. But yeah, if it meant I could get warm afterwards, then yeah, I'll probably say yes. And if you give me those what's it balls that we had today,
You really like them, don't
I'll
you?
do whatever you want me to do.
Fruit energy balls. Brilliant. Anything we should have asked you, Liz, about your time, or have you got any general comments?
Ooh, general comments. No, I've really enjoyed it. I will come back, definitely. I'm trying to work out in my mind what would work for me, but I think a week every few months would be fine. I don't think it would suit me to be here for a longer period of time. I couldn't fit it in my lifestyle. But I feel like I would keep things up more if I, was here and then back out again and here and back out again. Sounds like being released from prison. And I can think of a lot of friends that would be really interested in doing this as well.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people do that, don't they? Sort of jump in, little top up. One guy that comes quite regularly, he has what he calls his Paula line. And he's like, when his health and fitness dips below the Paula line, he phones Paula and says, right, Paula, I need to book in. And she's like, right, no problem, and he comes quite often. Yeah.
Be nice to see it actually in the summer or, better weather. Because I do think, I'm assuming it must be better when you're not freezing or you're not running through big puddles or whatever. I think it'd be nice to see when it's, better weather. But
slightly different dynamic. Yeah, different challenges, different dynamic. Yeah. We throw some canoe trips in, don't we, in the summer? And
it's got a lot of diversity. I mean, I like all the seasons because for me, if it's comfortable, I don't feel like campers get as much from it, and I like the adversity of the weather. I kind of like the extremes for people because I don't want people to come and be too comfortable. There wouldn't be anyway because there's a level of training, but when you're out there and it's absolutely pissing down, it's freezing. I think you learn a lot about yourself.
Oh, you do, definitely. You feel like you achieve more, definitely,
And I think it's easier to justify to yourself, well, Christ, I've only got an hour training to do today. I'm at home. It's going to be in a gym.
Yeah.
It's warm. Straight from my car to the gym. At boot camp on Wednesday, I was 4 days in and I got out and it was freezing cold. I was knackered and I still did it.
Yeah.
So you kind of...
Yeah, I do feel like I'll take the dog out for a walk in the rain now or a run even,
I think it's really liberating,
It's weird how your whole perception of stuff changes when you start going through a bit of adversity. It's really good. Little quick fire round, Liz, to finish off. Okay, I've really enjoyed chatting to you. We're going to do a little chat as well now, a follow on from this. So I'd always do a little quick fire round. You've got one word. I'm going to throw some names at you, and you throw the names out. Okay.
Oh my God.
We're going to start with Reese. One word, quick as you can.
Mean.
Mean. That's the first one. He usually gets baby face or
Ginger.
New. Ginger comes up quite a bit. Ash.
Ace.
Gone red?
Ace.
Oh yeah, he was within punching distance. Georgia.
Cool, smiley.
Yeah.
Very inspiring.
Damo, you mentioned Damo.
Damo, hilarious. You've got to just take Damo. He's got to be part of your offering forever. He's brilliant. He's brilliant. Don't let him go back to Nigeria.
Try and do 6 months with him.
He's brilliant.
Who else we had? Ben's a bit of a long termer. He's been with us a while.
He's come back. He's been away.
Ben's nice. I haven't really had a lot to do with him, but he puts 100% in. He's always giving it some, definitely. It's always sweaty.
Yeah.
20 words, sir, for Ben.
Oh, sorry. Sweaty Ben.
That's 20 burpees, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, listen, Liz, it's been brilliant to chat to you and hear from you.
Thank you for having me.
It's been brilliant, and it'd be great to see you back with a couple of mates or whatever, but of course I'm going to say that. And Ash, thanks for joining as well.
Thank you.
Putting your input in there. Anything we should have asked you or you want to say?
Just say I'm Ace again.
You Ace?
That's it.
It's never happened before. Thanks. Thanks again, and make sure you tune in for the next episode of the Conquer Food podcast. Take care. And thank you, podcasters, for joining us again on the Conquer Food Show. Hopefully you picked up some great nuggets of information there. Make sure you join us next week for another episode. And if you've enjoyed this, please like, share, and give us a little review on iTunes. It all helps. Take care.